Students, now let us learn measures of central tendency. The last measure that we are left out with, mode. Now let us learn the meaning and definition of mode. Mode may be defined as the value that occurs most frequently in a statistical distribution. Mode is originated from a French language. In French, it is called as la mode, which means fashion. Now, let us see the definition of mode, which is given by A.M. Tuttle. Mode is the value which has the greatest frequency density in its immediate neighborhood. Mode is the value which occurs with the maximum frequency. It is the most typical or common value that receives the highest frequency. It represents fashion and often it is used in business. Now let us see the classification of mode. It is basically classified as unimodal, bimodal, trimodal and multimodal. Unimodal is a distribution of scores that consists of only one mode. Bimodal is a distribution of scores that consists of two modes. Trimodal is a distribution of score that consists of three modes, or multimodal is a distribution scores that consists of more than two modes. Now let us see the calculation of mode, before which we will see what is mode denoted as. As we know, under median it is denoted as ME, under arithmetic mean it is denoted as X bar. So now let us see what is mode denoted as. Mode is denoted as capital alphabet Z. Now let us understand and let us learn methods of calculation of mode under three series, that is individual series, discrete series and continuous series. Now first let us see individual series. Under individual series we only find X variable, only one data will be available. And now in the given slide I have shown you three scores of section A, section B and section C. uh, while solving the problem, we have to arrange the data either in ascending order or descending order. Now let us look at the solution for the previous slide. Here in series A, the scores that appeared most in section A is 20. Hence the mode of section A is 20. There is only one mode. Therefore, the score distribution is called as unimodal. Let us move on and see for section B. In section B, 18 and 24 are repeated twice and there are two modes in section B. Hence the distribution is a bimodal distribution. Now let us see section C, under which 18, 21 and 25, there are three modes for section C. Therefore, it is called as trimodal or multimodal distribution. Now let us learn mode under discrete series. Here the mode discrete series is classified into two, that is by inspection, by grouping. Under inspection, when there is a regularity and homogeneity in the series, then there is a single mode which can be located at a glance by looking into the frequency column for having maximum frequency. I would like to repeat again what is discrete series. Under discrete series we would have X and F. So let us see and understand better with a numerical example. Now let us understand with an illustration how do we find out mode under inspection method. Under inspection method in discrete series, height in centimeter, number of person, two informations are given. Height is referred here as X and number of person as F. Under this method, how to find out mode is, we will see the frequency. The highest frequency and the corresponding value for the highest frequency x would be the answer, that is the mode for us. In this problem, the highest frequency under number of persons is 10 and the corresponding value to that is 180 centimeter, and the answer or the mode for this is 180 centimeters. Mode under discrete series method by grouping method. When do we use this grouping method? Sometimes it becomes impossible to locate mode by inspection method, as concentration of frequencies is not in a unique manner or fashion as desired for this method. Then we use grouping method. The steps involved in arriving at the answer under grouping method is preparing grouping table, analysis table, and to find out the answer for mode. Preparing a grouping table, the steps are as follows. It has six steps. The first step is frequencies are taken as it is in the given problem. Second step, frequencies are added in twos. Third step, leaving the first frequency, frequencies are added in twos. The fourth step, frequencies are added in threes. Fifth step, leaving the first frequency, frequencies are added in threes. And the final step, leaving the first two frequencies, frequencies are added in threes. After doing all these, we will have to highlight or note down the highest frequencies in each column. Let us now learn how to construct the analysis table. In the previous grouping table, we would have noted down the highest frequencies in each column, and the same we would consider for making the analysis table, before which we have to understand what should be the horizontal and what should be the horizontal line and vertical here. The horizontal line would be the six columns or the six steps which we would have followed in the previous grouping of table, and the vertical column here, vertical rows here would be the x which would be given in the problem. The same we would consider here again. Now let us understand the grouping method with a numerical example. In the illustration which is taken, variable frequencies are given. Variables and frequencies are taken as it is. Variables is seen in the grouping of table, and frequencies are our first step, that is F1. And in the second step, uh, frequencies are added in twos, and in third step or in third column or F3 where I have mentioned it as leaving the first item, frequencies are added in twos, and in step 4 F4 frequencies are added in threes, and in F5 frequencies are added, leaving first frequencies, frequencies are added in threes, and in F6 leaving first two frequencies, frequencies are added in threes. The steps followed in grouping table for the illustration is F1 frequency are taken as it is in the given problem. In step 2 F2 frequencies are added in twos, 20 plus 24, 32 plus 28, 20 plus 16, 34 plus 10. In F3, leaving first item, frequencies are added in twos, 24 plus 32, 28 plus 32, 16 plus 34, 10 plus 8. In F4, frequencies are added in threes, 20, 24, 32 are added together, 28 plus 20 plus 16 are added together, 34, 10 and 8 are added together, and it is written in middle of these three values. F5, leaving first frequencies are added in threes, that is 24 plus 32 plus 28, 20 plus 16 plus 34, and in step 6, F6, leaving the first two frequencies are added in threes, 32 plus 28 plus 16 and 16 plus 34 plus 10. And after arriving at 6 steps, at the end of the sixth step, we have to note down the highest total in each column. After grouping of the table, the second table that we are going to prepare under grouping method is analysis table. In analysis table, we would have two, that is column X, in column X would define the 6 steps that we have done in the grouping table, and the vertical rows here we define as the X values which is given in the problem. The same will be taken. Now how are we marking it, how are we arriving at the answer? Here is by marking cross mark or tick mark, whichever feasible, on the highest values. If you go back to the previous slide and see, in the previous slide in F1, that is the first column, the highest value in the first column or the frequencies which is given as per the table is 34. The same has been marked to the corresponding X value 75. And now let us see the second column. In second column, the highest frequency is 60, which is added by 32 plus 28. The corresponding values for 32 and 28 is 64 and 68. Now let us move on to the third column. In third column, the highest frequency is 56. The corresponding X values are 64. The corresponding X values are 60 and 64. Now let us move on to the fourth column. In fourth column, the highest frequency is 76 and the corresponding values for which are 58, 60 and 64. And now let us move on. Let us move to the fifth column. In fifth column, the highest frequency is 84. The corresponding values for 84 is 64, 68 and 70. All three are it is 60, 64 and 68. Under column 6, it is 80 is the highest frequency. To arrive at the answer 80, the corresponding values are the corresponding X variables are 32, 28 and 20. And this is how we analyze the table. In the next slide, I have shown the theoretical or the explanatory way of how I have arrived at the a cross marks here. This slide explains the analysis table wherein the highest value is marked in each column, after which the variables corresponding to that total is noted, after which the totals of each individual term is checked, and the F1, F2, F3, F4, F5 and F6 columns highest value and the corresponding X values, one or more corresponding values or three values are cross marked in order to find out mode. The total at the last column is given to see how many cross marks are falling under each rows and columns there, and the analysis table Here we mention in the horizontal column the 6 steps. Under the vertical rows the x variable as given in the problem is taken, and the solution for which is arrived at the end by totaling up at the end of the columns 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. After the sixth step, the totals of which as the highest cross marks under which x variable is falling, the total of such will be called as mode, and the answer in the current problem is 64. Properties and use of mode. Properties of the mode. It can be used when the data are qualitative as well as quantitative. Mode may not be unique. It is affected by extreme value. In reality, it may not exist. And when to use the mode? When the typical value is desired, when the data is measured on a nominal scale. Mode. It is readily comprehensible and easily understood. It is easy to calculate. In some cases, it is located by inspection. It is not affected by extreme values provided they do not have maximum frequency. It can be very easily determined from graph. It can be calculated even with opponent loss intervals. The demerits of mode are as follows. It is ill-defined, it is indefinite, and in some cases it is impossible to find a definite value, and it is not based on all observation, so it may not be a good measure of central tendency. It is not capable of further algebraic treatment. Sometimes there can be more than one mode, and sometimes there may be no mode at all. As compared to mean, it is affected to a great extent by fluctuations of sampling. Students, here in this video I am now discussing about continuous series under mode method, because we have already dealt and we have solved problems related to that, and this is why I am not discussing the same in this PPT. Thank you all.